Hi there, my name is Kay Moon and I'm a Western astrologer and twin flame channel. And this is a video about the new moon in Scorpio that took place on November 1st at 8:46 a.m. If you happen to be on the eastern seaboard of the United States, please check a time zone converter for your local time. This will be the all signs lunar update. A few quick announcements before we begin. Number one, I'll be in the comments 1 hour after the video answering questions, but you'll also find me in the chat. If you're live, feel free to join me there and ask. Number two, while we're still in the wake of the relationship focused eclipses, relationship readings, synastry readings, aka twin flame readings, are available for any guidance you may need in your relationships. There are 30 and 60-minute readings where I can look at your chart, the chart of a loved one, and the chart of the meet date to track the connection before the end of the month. So if you'd like to have a look, now is the time to book. There is a 90-minute session available, but that is only for couples. So if you are an individual looking for some insight and guidance into your connection, definitely book the 30 or the 60-minute. Number three, I will be live on Thursday of this week to talk about the Mars retrograde and provide predictions and themes for all 12 signs at 4 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to join live and ask questions. I'll be joined by members of the Star Club community who will receive priority Q&A conversation with me. If you'd like to be a part of this unique community where you can learn, practice, and share astrology with others, the waitlist for enrollments is below this video. Definitely mark your calendars for Thursday. And if you missed it, the Lightworker Energy Update will give you an in-depth, detailed look at this new moon. It has a lot of information about why the energy may feel intense, also contradictory at the moment. So definitely have a listen there, especially if you listen to your sun, moon, and rising here and want a fuller understanding of how they fit together and what to do in your life if you happen to be stuck. Number five, happy birthday, Scorpio. Welcome to the beginning of your Lunar New Year. Let's get into it. Here is the new moon in Scorpio, right here at the 9th degree of Scorpio. We see a square to Chariclo there in Pisces and a more dominant influence. We also see a trine to Saturn and a sextile to Pholus. Now, in general, this new moon is one of laying foundation and establishment, one of order and structure through releasing things that are not serving us. That's the Saturn trine to the new moon part. Now, because both Saturn and the new moon are in water signs, Saturn is in water sign Pisces, the new moon is in water sign Virgo. This new beginning will have some deep emotional truths to it, and we may also feel a sense of spiritual recognition or intuitive awareness that the time has come for the changes that are now unfolding. It's a beautiful time for establishing new habits or routines for our lives. There's also a great energy from the other planetary placements outside of this new moon, in particular Mercury and Venus and Mars, that are not necessarily talking to this new moon, that are going to provide some motivation and awareness of what needs to happen and how. This is likely one of the most serious and sobering new moons of the year, and it is assisting all of us to make difficult but necessary decisions required to take the next step in our lives. This is likely to be, I got to be honest, an uncomfortable time. This discomfort, it'll last the week after the new moon and the week prior. This discomfort has a purpose. It's meant to make the status quo impossible to maintain. It's meant to guarantee that we evolve. Now, there are some other aspects that can give us an opportunity for reprieve or escapism if you're inclined to look the other way. And there's also an opportunity for elevation and promotion if you've already done the work in your life. I go into great detail about these two things in that Lightworker Energy Update, so I recommend having a listen if you struggle with behavioral substance or relationship addiction or have found adding stability to your life in particular challenging. Alternatively, you can just book a private reading and I can go into more personal detail about the challenges unique to your life stream and what can be done about them. There are still a few November sessions left, but book now as there will be no sessions available the last week of the month due to the American Thanksgiving holiday. Link to books below this video, or you can check out the website kmoonastro.com. Let's go sign by sign. Be sure to listen for your sun, moon, rising, and stellium signs and that of anyone you love who you may be trying to understand in order to get a full picture of this new moon's energy. I said, new moon energy is going to be potent through the middle of the month. Aries, let's start with you. Thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Aries, sun, moon, and rising. This new moon takes place for you in the sector of the sky that has to do with what we call other people's money over here. Just mark it out for us. This includes money owed to you, money you owe, and money gifted to you, or money you gift. This is also a sector of your sky that has to do with transformation, power, secrets, and physical intimacy. For you, Aries, this new moon will open up a chance for you to release any habits you may have had in these areas that have undermined you. And there may have been a strong intuitive nudging around this since late last year that a change must be made with regard to these things. Now, whether it's getting out of debt, ending a pattern of loaning money and not getting it back, overspending on credit cards, or even beginning to draw down on retirement investments you've spent your life saving, you're likely to feel ready to start a new chapter in your relationship to money. Now, when it comes to physical intimacy, some of you may be releasing a relationship that was physical only or dealing with reproductive health challenges head on. And for those of you for whom this new moon is more generally transformation focused, since this is the sector of the sky that deals with transformations, you will find that you are nudged rather strongly to get on with making much needed changes to your mental and physical health regimens by cutting off habits that do not serve you and establishing routines that do, especially any of those habits that needed to be kept secret or caused you fear, shame, or rage. The recognition that the time has come to do what needs to be done may have come with a bit of a bite or a wake up call that was unignorable. But if anyone is empowered by the challenge of doing something new, Aries, it's you. You got this. Definitely please book a reading if you have questions about how to work with this energy in your life. This energy is going to be potent for you through the middle of this month, but also we're going to see that some of these planetary aspects highlighted at this new moon continue to have messages through the end of the year. Where it comes to love, your love sector here, yay, love, is wrapping up a 1.5 year closing cycle with the South Node coming to its final degrees in the sign that governs your love sector. Anytime the South Node transits any sector at all, that sector goes through a clean out where everything you've outgrown gets released and flushed away. So if it's felt like there's more departing than coming in when it comes to love, this is why. Superficially, but more deeply, this is where you may feel like you've been urged to transform either habits, behaviors, or mindsets when it comes to love and interactions in love so that you can step into the kind of love you really want. So, whether you're in a committed bond or looking for love, you're coming to the end of a year that has been all about coming into a level of self intimacy that's going to set the stage for intimacy with another. The clean out ends in January, so you're in the last 90 days. You can use this new moon to get intentional about what you've done within your love life so that it can go to the next level, or what you're done with, I should say. Whatever you put down at this new moon, it will have long term effects and can last quite a long time. So definitely be intentional. With the governor of your love sector, Venus, here in Sagittarius, that's a sign that deals with faith, hope, optimism, and higher education. This is going to be the perfect time to learn a few new things about the art and practice of love through an expert. If intuitively you have felt guided to pick up a book, take a workshop or a class online, or work with a teacher to take your love life to that next level, you're already intuitively clocking this new moon's benefits for your love life. Now, ultimately, Aries, this new moon is going to be working overtime to take your life and your love life to a higher playing field. All you have to do, Aries, is not fight it. Definitely like, share, and subscribe if you heard something that resonates or illuminates things for you, Aries. Let's go now to Taurus. And let's just highlight it here in the chart. Taurus, this new moon takes place in a sector of the sky opposite your sun here. This is the sector that deals with love for you. Because of the trine to this new moon from Saturn in your hopes, wishes, goals, friendship, and dreams sector, there is an energy here for recognizing where, in order to step into the next level of love life, There are certain things, either in friendship or in relationship to your dreams and goals, that are going to need refinement. Now, for some, this may be cutting off a friendship that has been unsupportive to your love life in some way. For others, this will be recognizing that the relationship you're in is not going to work long term and coming to conclusion that it's in both people's best interest to move forward separately. And still, for others, this is recognizing that if I want love, I have to release my dream of living in a monastery. You get the idea. It's just an example where there has been something that is diametrically opposed to your happiness and having in love. This is the new moon when letting that thing go is going to be the easiest, and it may go or end on its own. Your job is not to fight it and to see how its departure can work to benefit your love life. With Pluto, the governor of your love sector, just about to enter your career sector at the top of the chart there, there's a sense now that whatever changes are taking place are meant to help elevate you to the status that has always been rightfully yours in love. If you've always felt like you're one half of a power couple, the decisions you make now are the setup for the fulfillment of that reality. With the ancient ruler of your love sector, Mars, in tension with your modern day ruler, Pluto. Here we go. You will find that this opens up an extended period of time where you're going to be faced with a series of choices about the truth of who you are and to reconcile the difference between your public and private faiths. Are you the person who has the relationship you've always dreamed of yet, or are you some other version of yourself? Complaining, whining, commiserating, gossiping with friends about how awful it is and the opposite sex or the same sex happen to be. One or the other, you're gonna have to make a choice. Whether you're in a romantic partnership or you're looking for love, becoming the version of you that you want, that you see in your picture when it comes to your ideal love life, by releasing everything that is not it, is going to help you call in the highest version of love possible for you. Taurus, if anyone can double down on a commitment to make sure their love life goes to the next level, it's going to be you. Okay, elsewhere in the sky, Taurus, the Mars Pluto opposition that I mentioned when it comes to your love life is also going to guarantee that you're on the precipice of stepping into something big in your career sector as well. It's going to come with some sort of confrontation with fear or shame or some sort of limiting belief that you can't have what you want because of things to do with your past. You likely have already been feeling this and have had a taste of it in the spring, back when Pluto was in Aquarius. Now, Pluto will return to Aquarius as we get into the second half of this month, giving you a sense of power, control, and authority in your work life that you've been working toward for some time. Now, you may feel a new drive to be productive and direct your career in new ways at this time, or a sense that you're going to have to direct your career in a new way if you want to get ahead. The next 8 months are going to be a pivotal time as both the modern and ancient rulers of your career sector, Uranus and Saturn, settle into new signs. So here's Uranus moving on into Gemini. Here's Saturn, which will appear in Aries. Both of them will do so in the spring, late spring of 2025, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. But this period right now seems to be about tying up loose ends before that happens and reconciling with what you've outgrown in your career, solidifying alliances that will support your long term growth, and releasing the connections that were only meant to be a part of the last chapter. So, if you're feeling the cosmic butterflies in your stomach about your finances and your career, like it's about to take off or something big is about to happen, and you're noticing a lot of change in the people who are close to you versus furthest from you, you're already right on track. There are a few more decisions to be made on your side, and this new moon is indicative of decisions having to do with your alliances and your goals in particular. In the So once you make these decisions, watch out. The universe is going to be very ready to back you up. Now, if you heard something that resonates, please like, share, and subscribe, Taurus. I really look forward to hearing in the comments how this all lands for you. Let's go ahead and look at Gemini. Gemini. Let's see. Sign is always listed in the upper left corner. Gemini. This new moon takes place for you in your physical health and things external to you that have power over you sector. This can include doctors, mentors, bosses, and people who have power over you otherwise. With this in mind, you may be in a position at this new moon to realize that someone you hired or something you've done to manage your physical health is no longer working, and that it's time to break ties with what's not working so you can free up time, energy, and money to move in a new direction. There are indications from Neptune in your career sector, square Jupiter here in your sense of self sector, and Venus in your partnership sector. And this constitutes a bit of a T square here. That you may have been picking up the slack for people who work above or below you for a long time. Now, at first, the added responsibility and elevation may have allowed you to feel gratified, seen, especially where it came with admiration for your efforts. But with Saturn also in square to the same planets, pushing past your own boundaries, and there's Saturn also in T square with Jupiter and Venus, saying maybe don't push against your boundaries, maybe try something different. If you have been pushing against your boundaries, limits, and job description for accolades alone, this may have lost its appeal, and never has it been more apparent than something has to change at this new moon. Now, whether it's you who establishes new boundaries or someone else, this new moon does indicate that it is time to rebalance the situation by removing yourself from tasks and roles that have undermined you, in particular when it comes to taking care of your home, your body, or your family. There is small potential here for a rage quit or a sudden dismissal from a job that may seem to come out of nowhere for a small few. But for most, as long as you're willing to take consistent action at this new moon, there is a potential for things to rebalance in a step by step manner so that being taken advantage of is no longer in the cards in the future. Really, really good stuff, Gemini. Your flexibility has always served you, and now is the time to also utilize the energy of creativity that you have to bring yourself into a higher level of work situation. If you need any help with that, find me over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. Let's go ahead and talk about Cancer. Cancer, this new moon takes place in a sector of the sky that has to do with children and creative endeavors. Now, for those with children, this could be a new moon where you need to establish some new rules, boundaries, or guidelines with them for their learning, growth, and development. You might even consider a new school for them if there have been challenges with their current school, since Saturn is in the sector of the sky that deals with education. Now, for others, this is where your kids may move out to go to school, higher education. And for those who are more aligned with creative endeavors than child rearing, this new moon may be where you release certain processes so you can establish your project or art more fully in the world. Some of you may even drop out of school or leave a religious organization or institution of higher education so you can focus on your true creative potential. More directly, this could be dropping out of school or breaking ties with your church, mosque, or temple, or group you've been affiliated with for education. And it could be because some of you have conceived and it's time to step into a new chapter as you prepare for parenthood. For a small few of you, this particular new moon could be the beginning of a pregnancy that has some challenges to it, or a pregnancy that requires a lot of structure and discipline for your health and well being, or the beginning of a new kind of fertility or conception journey that may have started with a loss of some form. If you are in fact trying to conceive and it has been difficult, know that the next year from June onward does seem to be a more beneficial time, generally speaking, for cancers. But we'd need to look at your chart for more specific opportunities. Definitely find me at kmoonastro.com if any endings or beginnings for you creatively have proven to be a challenge. Link is below this video. Cancer, where it comes to love, with the ruler of your love sector, Saturn here, being connected to the new moon itself. By trine, this new moon speaks to a new beginning in love after loss. With Pluto departing from your love sector this November, hooray! For the first time in 14 years, and this will never happen again in this lifetime, Pluto in your love sector, you're in for a huge new beginning. You are preparing to experience your love life without the lessons Pluto brings about power, confronting your fears, managing rage and shame, and handling the same from others. With this new beginning, you may find that you're already feeling a sense of renewed hope and possibility in your life as this new moon solidifies for you what you're fully and truly done with and over with when it comes to people and interpersonal dynamics that no longer serve you in love. This will be true both for those in established bonds and those looking for love. There's this sense that one chapter is done with this new moon and that you're fully in for a new love story. Now, for some, this is going to be the end of a situationship that never fully got off the ground or had a lot of drama and starts and stops. It looks like from your side, you're ready to put a final end to things that have stopped your love life at the dating and hoping stage, the sectors that the new moon and Saturn are in. Saturn is here in the hoping stage, and there's the new moon in the dating stage, sector of the sky. But if that's where situationships have started and stopped, but never fully got into a commitment, it does look like if that has been a circular process, this is where you're stepping out of it. There is an interpretation here that for some, this indicates concluding a divorce and a new chapter as co-parents with a child's other parent, but for a small few, this seems to be the beginning of a period of separation by institution, such as not being able to get a visa or travel permit, or being involved in a school or faith based organization that requires the commitment of you or your partner in a way that may place the relationship temporarily on the back burner. In all cases, this does seem to be the establishment of a whole new season of love. And when you look back, you're going to be able to see it was the month of November 2024 when things finally shifted. Take it in, Cancer. Not only have you become more self empowered in the last 14 years thanks to Pluto in your opposite sign, but you're also ready for a relationship dynamic that allows you to be empowered without apology. And this new moon sets you up to have exactly that. Very, very exciting. If you heard something that resonates or illuminates, Cancer, definitely hit that notification bell so you know when I'm live again in the future. And like the video, definitely helps it circulate. Let's take a look at this new moon for in Scorpio for the sign of Leo. Leo, sun, moon, and rising. This new moon takes place in your home sector and facilitates a closure to anything that's undermined your ability to have a stable, safe home life. In particular, where it has to do with debt, financial ties, to someone else, like a family member or an ex, or an old mortgage that's just been hanging over your head. Saturn's here in the sector that deals with other people's money, looking to clean that up. This could also just be a toxic dynamic with a family member or someone else you live with that comes with a lot of power games. This new moon does seem to indicate that whatever the challenge is, you are going to be able to establish a solution and move into a new chapter that allows you the home stability you need. More spiritually, for many Leos, there is also closure here to non-working patterns you may have inherited from childhood when it comes to how you live and the people you live with. If you were raised in a home with communication patterns that didn't work, lots of secrets, lots of power games like fear, manipulation, or just plain old toxicity and chaos, this new moon is going to, and if those things have featured as key dynamics in your interpersonal relationships as you live with people now, this new moon is going to allow you to embark on a chapter to clean that up once and for all and to lay the season of your life where you were dictated to by family programming to rest by digging out the root and confronting the issues within you head on. Now, for some of you, this is going to come from moving in with and getting financially involved with the partner, with the ancient governor of your partner sector speaking to this new moon. Again, that would be Saturn. Saturn's the ancient governor of your romance sector. And this specifically would indicate that there's some level of a consummation of a union through a financial agreement. Now, for others of you, this is finally getting the home space you need to create the distance you require to examine and sever any puppet strings the past has held over your head. And still, for others, this could be an internal, quiet decision that you will not pass on what happened to you in your childhood to your own children, or let yourself relive that toxicity any longer. On the most basic level, this could simply be paying off a mortgage or releasing physical baggage from your home to free up space for something new. So, congratulations, Leo. This is a big step towards your creatorship and havingness. If you heard something that resonates, definitely and need some support kind of sussing out the next steps, please be sure to book with me over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. Leo, in the love department, this new moon gives you some very stabilizing energy, with Saturn speaking to the new moon in harmony and as the ancient ruler of your love sector. Very exciting. And in conversation with Jupiter and Venus's opposition here on your axis of creativity and manifestation. Normally, Venus and Jupiter in opposition can go more than a little bit overboard, a lot of bit overboard. And in the position they are in for you, this could be taking a flirtation too far, having a connection go from 0 to 100 overnight, and then collapsing because of a lack of foundation or things not being as good as they seemed once the transit is over. But since Saturn is squaring both of them loosely, it brings some tempering to the mix. It brings a sense of level-headedness, and it invites you into self-consideration, not just when it comes to feeling good now, but also feeling good in the future. This T square invites you into discernment and thoughtfulness about what's good for your self worth and self esteem, and also your pocketbook when it comes to decisions you make in love at this time. Now, for those seeking love, this new moon could help you find it, especially if you host any parties at home or go to any house parties in somebody else's home. For those already in established bond, this new moon can help you and your partner have a great time without things getting out of control this weekend and the following week. Enjoy this energy. For a small few, this does look like it could be the end of a love affair that needed to be kept secret, thus freeing you up to love and be loved out loud in the world. All all in all, this looks like a great new moon for your love life, Leo. Enjoy this, as I know there's been a lot of energy supporting transformation and change in the love department for you. And there is more to come with Pluto about to jump into your love sector, which we're going to talk about next month. If you heard something that resonates or illuminates, please hit the like button and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you can be with me live and ask questions in real time at the next lunar update. Now let's talk about Virgo. Virgo, sun, moon, rising, and stelliums. This new moon takes place in the sector of the sky that deals with communities, communication, and consciousness. With the trine from Saturn coming from your partnership sector here, this is going to do a lot for your love life. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But when it comes to everything else, this does seem to solidify your career alliances. For those looking for a business partner, this new moon is where you might not only find the one, but also be able to establish partnership on very solid terms. Now, because there are so many strong aspects to Mercury, the governor of your career sector at this new moon, and here is Mercury. Mercury is going to be in conversation with Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. Here's Neptune, here's Uranus, here's Pluto, and they are all aspecting that Mercury quite loudly, and Mercury is the governor of that career sector. This is going to be a big deal. This is going to open up some deeply strategic thinking for you and even conversations with people who can help you take your career to the next level, whether you work for yourself or someone else. Ideas about what you can do to create greater longevity, job security, amass more power, and change your status for the better are going to flow to you now. And in many cases, you'll find that the correct alliances to pull off any big visions that are gifted to you now are in the wings, just waiting for you to tap in and place them in position to put things in motion. Now, do not underestimate any big ideas that come to you now. They are not flights of fancy or wishful thinking in the least. Whether you have been looking for ways to elevate your career or business or not, the universe sees your hard work and is now providing ideas to guarantee your elevation. So harness these and the conversations that come with them so that you can capture the major opportunities this new moon has in store for you. Okay? Really great stuff for you, Virgo. Let's go ahead and talk about your love life. And if you need any support with this for business or career, find me over at kmoonastro.com and definitely book through the link below this video. There are a few sessions left for the month of November. With this new moon in your community and communication sector, receiving that trine from Saturn in your love and romance sector, this is indicative of the integration of your inner circle and your romantic partnerships, where you either introduce your partner to your friends, siblings, cousins, and neighbors, thus establishing the connection as more official. Okay. For others, this could be where someone you never thought about in a love way or love sense because they were close enough to be, oh, that's, my play sister, my play cousin, my play brother. Like they felt like family to you, even though they may not have technically been. This new moon could see you and that person looking at what it might mean to cross the line into romantic territory, especially if the chemistry has always been there. More broadly and for all, this is indicative of a new consciousness in your love life, one where you are fully done with any thought patterns that have undermined your ability to have a healthy relationship. If there have been self destructive patterns in thinking that have kept you out of the quality of love you really want to experience, then this new moon is going to make it more than plain what those patterns are, that you're over it, and where you can turn left in places where you'd previously turned right and got results you did not want. So, for example, if there's been a lack of emotional vulnerability, with this new moon and Scorpio energy, like guardedness or self protection that's kept love at arm's length, or an over reliance on physical chemistry that's bitten you in the butt later when it came time to see if things could go beyond that, or other shadow sides of Scorpio energy. This new moon is where there is a self correction in your thinking about love and connection that establishes a new normal for how you interact with other people in love. This will be true whether you're in an established bond or you're looking for new love. If you heard something that resonates or illuminates, definitely hit that like button and the notification bell so that you can be part of the live conversation at the next lunar update. Let's take a look at this new moon for the sign of Libra. Libra, this new moon takes place in a sector of your chart that has to do with your values and the money you make, as well as your self worth and self esteem. Libra, you may find at this new moon that you're making strides towards taking a stand for your value and worth in the world. As Saturn trine the new moon from the sector that has to do with services you provide and being of service to the world, generate some limitations around what you can do if you're not getting paid correctly for it. This wake up call may come from your body telling you that in order to do good work, you need to have appropriate compensation so you can care for yourself correctly and continue to do good work. Now, some of you may get a raise, promotion, or recognition at this time that opens up a whole new pathway in your career if you've already laid the foundation for that for some time. There are some who may experience staffing changes at this time, such as a boss or direct report departing, which could potentially make some more work for you. It does look like if that happens, the opportunity to command a higher salary to go with the higher workload is available. Now, in general, this looks like a major upleveling of how you value yourself by separating yourself from work and financial situations. Self talk, even interactions with extended family that does not correctly value your worth. This new moon is all about turning over that new leaf when it comes to how you value yourself. And it's a decisive turning point in your journey. Congratulations, Libra. Love this for you. If you need any support understanding what the choices are, if you've got wounds and self worth, self value, and money, you need to understand how to make some new choices when it comes to valuing yourself correctly. Your chart holds a lot of the key information. Definitely book a reading over at K Moon Astro before the month is out. Sessions are limited this month due to the American Thanksgiving holiday. Let's take a look at your love life, Libra. Where it comes to love, this new moon sees the governor of your love sector, which is Mars here, taking some heat from the opposition from Pluto across the chart. This opens up a time of major review around how you've approached relationships, in particular romantic partnerships, and the connection between your self talk and self worth, and whether or not it's set up to have the conversations, to have the experiences you want to have in love. Now, this will be true whether you're in an established bond or you're looking for love. All Libras are likely to see a mirror between your self worth when it comes to work and your self worth when it comes to love throughout the Mars retrograde period. It's also likely that there will be someone in your life, whether you're dealing heavily with a memory or a person in real time, whose presence is helping you to see where you may sell yourself short in one or both areas, love or work. Now, it does appear that this person's presence may come with a bit of a power struggle. Again, this could be you just struggling with the memory, or this person could really be there in real life. Now, whether that power struggle is internal and something you wrestle with privately as you interact with this person externally, and something that's ongoing in the interaction or not, this new moon and the upcoming Mars retrograde period both indicate that you valuing yourself and releasing any issues and worthiness that have undermined your capacity to value yourself. This is what will take both your love life and career life to the next level. The correct decision will definitely be the one that allows you to be all of you in love with no apologies, no compromises, no making up for the past or other things, and no punishing. Just straight up shining and wholeness for you. You got this, Libra. And if you heard something that resonates or illuminates, please hit that like button and the notification bell so that you are able to join the conversation live next time I post a lunar update. All right, let's have a look at this new moon in Scorpio for the sign of Scorpio. New moon takes place in your sign and creates a new chapter in your identity, your sense of self, and the way you share yourself in the world. With Saturn in trine to this new moon here from your sector that deals with children, your inner child, and your creative endeavors, this new moon invites you to step into the next level of intentionality in these areas of your life by committing to and removing distractions or other things that undermine your ability to lock in your manifestations. Now, for those with children, you may have an experience where the relationship needs to be restructured with greater or new boundaries, and this may be indicative of some level of disciplinary or corrective action on your part needed for their growth and development. For a small few, this could be conception after a long period of trying that changes your identity into one of being a parent. And for others, this could be a major transition of one of your children into a new season or chapter of greater independence in the world, thus causing a shift in your identity in some form. So instead of being a parent to a teenager, this may be where you become a parent to a young adult. This kind of thing. Whatever is unfolding now, it does appear that it enhances your creative power and authority through some level of corrective action. And if it's not corrective, it looks like the action is all about maturing, getting real, and focusing on what needs to happen next. Let's talk about your love life, Scorpio. And if you need any help with any of the things mentioned or something transpired during this new moon, definitely book a reading. Your chart can illuminate why things happened, what needs to happen next, and how to work through any challenges. In your love life, Scorpio, this new moon sees the ruler of your love sector. Here's your love sector. Governor is Venus, having some interesting conversations with Jupiter in your transformation sector. And there's Jupiter, good old Jupiter. And with Saturn and Neptune in your creative sector. There's Neptune, here's Saturn once again. Oh, so much fun. Now, for some, this will speak to a need to figure out your finances when it comes to your love life and balance out overspending so that there is room for the other things you're looking to manifest. Being thoughtful about your financial reality and intentional about how you can use the resources you have to create the reality you want is going to go a long way here. For others, this will be more generally about reevaluating the priority you've had on relationships. Now, whether you've deprioritized them or over prioritized relationship, if the pendulum has been at one or the other extreme, this new moon will prompt you to establish more balance for yourself so that you have room to create the love you want. This is going to be true whether you're in a committed bond or looking for love. This new moon does bring correction to your love life so that your wishes can be fulfilled, given the T square that prompts you to look at the sector of wish fulfillment and take aligned action. So there's that T square once again. For a small few, this does seem to indicate that you will need to reorganize your relationship to your creative endeavors, side hustles, projects, or children in order to make space for love, especially where you've been over involved in your children's life or with a side project. Now, alternatively, this new moon will reveal where you need to make more space to focus on your kids or projects because love has taken too much of a front seat and these areas of life are suffering. For an even smaller few, this could be the end of a custody battle that causes you a bit of separation from your kids for now due to a legal arrangement with the other parent. All in all, Scorpio, this new moon is going to invite you to do some deeper digging about how you prioritize your love life in comparison to your other endeavors. But if anyone has the capacity for deeper reflection and powerful choices, it's a Scorpio. Scorpio, you got this. If you heard something that resonates or illuminates, definitely hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Hit the notification bell as well so that you can be part of the conversation at the next lunar update. Let's take a look at Sagittarius and highlight this. Sagittarius, this new moon takes place in an area of your chart that has to do with your intuition and subconscious mind, with a trine from Saturn in the department of home and family. This new moon will see you solidify some decision about your home life or your relationship to your family that intuitively you may have felt coming for a long time. Now, for some, this will be as simple as signing or renewing a lease or mortgage agreement or concluding a current living arrangement because it is time to move forward. For others, this may be some recognition that it's time for some new boundaries with either your family or inherited subconscious patterns from your family that you've outgrown. In both cases, there does seem to be the beginning of needing to make some tough financial decisions as we embark on the Mars retrograde, given the Mars Pluto opposition at the cusp of the houses that deal with your money. If there has been any financial tightness at this time, this does seem to extend through the spring of next year when Mars is out of shadow. There are significant decisions that need to be made as a result of this opposition, and some of this does look like you'll need to do it intuitively as well as turn over a new leaf in your behaviors with money so that the things you're working to manifest have space, given the way Mars is the governor of the sector of manifestation and both Pluto and Mars are the governor of the sectors of subconscious mind. Where there have been any financial self sabotage patterns, this period is when you'll finally have the power to work through it and get on a better financial path. Sagittarius, use that optimism and faith that you're known for to ask good questions. Look the truth of your financial situation honestly in the eye and aim towards your goals. With these energies, you'll definitely have the fuel you need to accomplish them. If you need any support, definitely book a reading. It can help you understand why your patterns in love are the way they are and your personal solutions, not love, but money. Love too, but definitely your patterns in money. This can help you resolve any challenges you've had with them. Let's go ahead and look at the love department for you, Sagittarius. Your love department has hosted our good old friend Jupiter here since the spring of 2024. And this has opened up opportunity after opportunity for love to find you. Certain other transits notwithstanding, that's going to depend on people's personal charts. Now, with the opposition of Venus in your sign, this gives your love sector a boost when it comes to your magnetism and attractiveness in the world. If you're putting yourself out there, those looking for love will have a much easier time finding it now. And those in a committed bond may find they have an even easier time connecting with, having fun with their partner over this new moon period. Now, for some, things can get out of hand with the Neptune square to both from the home sector. Okay. But with balancing and corrective Saturn also in square to both of them, you have the chance to keep this in check, whether you're looking for love or you're in a committed bond. Now, for some, you may find that this is where you realize you may have gone as far as you can go in a specific relationship because it's too emblematic of patterns you've inherited but have outgrown from your family of origin. And for others, this may be where you have an important conversation about cohabitation with your loved one. Since Mercury retrograde is coming, and Mercury is the governor of your romance and love sector. After November 7th, you'll enter a period of review in your love life that will help you clarify which decisions you need to make at this time. Once the shadow period begins on the 7th, pay attention to the themes that show up between the 7th and the 25th of November, as these will be the decisions that need your attention during the full retrograde period, November 25th to December 15th. This retrograde period invites you to make decisions about your love life that you may have delayed this year with Jupiter in your love sector. Vacillation between two people, staying or going in a relationship, or focusing on relationships versus putting them on the back burner seem to be the theme of 2024 for you. So, as we wrap the year, know that the transits will work overtime to help you come to clarity about the correct step for you at this time. Lean into that Sagittarian clarity, and you'll be all set. Definitely hit that like and subscribe button if you heard something that resonates or illuminates so that you can join us for the next lunar update, and hit that notification bell if you'd like to be part of the conversation. Let's take a look at this new moon in Scorpio for the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, this new moon takes place in your friendship sector and the sector of your hopes, wishes, and dreams fulfilled. You may find at this time an important conversation needs to happen with your friends or coworkers that will establish boundaries that leave you free to fulfill your dreams. If there has been any issue with these people that requires some correction, this new moon will induce you and that person to create that change now. Further, where your own consciousness or self consciousness has been the issue standing between you and your dreams, this new moon sees you making a decision to be real with yourself about what you want and the mindset or skill set it's going to take to get you there. Where you've allowed yourself to fall prey to negativity about your prospects, ignore your own opportunities, or just plain and simple, go underskilled when you know you need to tool and level up, you'll find this new moon has you say enough, especially where the people closest to you have projected your fears about you back onto you with limiting words or negativity about your possibilities. This is the proverbial line in the sand for you, Capricorn. where you make a decision about whether you're going to stand in your power or not, especially when it comes to your dreams for your life, generally speaking, and in particular, your love life. If you need any support around this, Capricorn, definitely book with me over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. Digging even deeper into love, Capricorn, this new moon sees the first of three oppositions between Pluto and Mars unfold at the tail end of the sector that deals with commitment and partnership, and the sector that deals with self-worth and self-esteem and your selfhood and identity. Now, for you, this power struggle, when these two are in opposition, with Mars retrograde in particular, we're in for a power struggle. Now, for you, this power struggle is going to be about whether the decisions you've made up until now in your love life are creating the love you actually want in your life. For some of you, this is going to be about a specific love relationship and where you make a major decision about its direction. For others, this is going to be about how you've handled love more generally and what you need to do to get more aligned with what you know your vision of love life or your love life is. For both those in a committed bond and those who are looking for love, this period that begins now is going to open up review and corrective action in your love life so you can own your power more than you've ever been able to in this lifetime. There are some of you who are going to find that almost like a light switch, you're able to change your patterns and thoughts about love and connection in a way that will dramatically shift the direction you're going in. This may be for some where you decide to end a relationship that has been fraught with power struggles and disempowering to you for a long time. For others, this is where you make an about face in the dating pool and change up the kind of people you're willing to entertain in a romantic situation. And for those in a committed bond, this is where you have conversations with your person about your needs and boundaries that will help the relationship be more fulfilling for you and ultimately them as well. This period of review and corrective action lasts through the final opposition between these two planets in May of 2025. But on the other side of this, expect your love life to look very different and for the better. Really great stuff. If you heard something that resonates or illuminates Capricorn, definitely like, share, and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you at the next lunation. We're hearing about how it's all unfolding for you there in the comments. Let's go ahead and look at this new moon for the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius, this new moon takes place in your career sector. And with the trine from Saturn in your sector of earned income, self worth, and self esteem, there's a chance for some that there is a corrective action unfolding in your financial life. For some, this will mean that you are departing a job that no longer serves, and with it goes that income so that you can step into a more aligned way of making money. For others, this will be where you tighten up your spending and create a budget or financial plan that is more aligned with where you want to go. And more broadly speaking, for all Aquarians, this new moon marks a period of you understanding your worth and value in the public sector and career. If in the past you've had any sense of low self esteem or insecurity about what you offer or your value, this is when you'll be able to identify with truth what you bring to the table and where you might need to brush up on certain skills to command more money. This is the beginning of an empowering time for you, as this month is when Pluto returns to your sign for a 20-year stay. Hooray! More empowerment for Aquarius. As Pluto arrives, confrontations with your biggest fears and power to overcome them will begin to show themselves to help you understand what you're truly made of. Know that this new moon is the beginning of a long season of owning your power and authority in your life, one that I know that you will enjoy very much. If you need any help with the decisions available for you at this time, you can definitely book with me over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. Let's talk about your love life. At this new moon, it sees the governor of your love sector, the sun. Here's your love sector. There's the sun there. It sees the governor of your love sector, the sun, land fully in your career sector. Now, for some, this will mean that you're able to find love or start a new romance through an experience in the work world. For others, this will be where you definitively decide to put work before your love life for a while. You may find a bit of a mirror begins to show itself here when it comes to the self esteem work you're doing in your career world and the same work that needs to unfold in your love life. For those who've had extreme relationships, where you're getting lost in love, or you are a serial monogamist, or the opposite to that, you're pushing love away and lone wolfing it through your life. This is when you may find that your existing patterns in love, while they may have worked for you before, are no longer serving you, and you're ready to grow into the next chapter of connection. With the Mars retrograde opposite Pluto on the cusp of your relationship sector here. This does indicate a bit of a power struggle in love and partnership showing up in the next several months. Now, for some, this will be internal and about your consciousness and who you want to be in the world since Mars and Pluto govern these sectors of your life. But for others, this will be external and it's going to be a function of a relationship dynamic where you're learning how to own your power in love and participate in the relationship in a new way. In all cases, this season in your love life is meant to uplevel you by inviting you to look carefully at where you've put others before yourself and change the balance of power in things so that you're just as important as everyone else in connection. Very empowering time for you, Aquarius. You got this. And if you heard something that resonates or illuminates, definitely hit that like button and the notification bell so that you can join us live and be part of the conversation at the next lunation. Let's take a look now at Pisces. Pisces, this new moon is located in a part of the sky that has to do with higher education, long distance travel, faith based organizations, teachers, publishing, and your belief systems. It features a trine from Saturn in the sector that deals with your identity and self worth or sense of self. With this, you may have a strong sense that it's time for a change and that you're ready to make a break from certain ideologies that haven't served you or that no longer align with who you've become. Where you're not making this break yourself, you may find that life makes it for you in the form of a rejection letter if you've sent out an application for something that has to do with the mentioned areas of life. This could also be you making the decision to offer a formal resignation from one of the mentioned groups or institutions. For a few, this could be a quiet resignation or rejection where instead of a formal and official process, things just start to go quiet at this new moon. And it becomes clear that it's because there's a fundamental misalignment between who you are and previous affiliations with these groups. Ultimately, this carves out room for you to find where you do belong so that you're able to cultivate a life that won't allow you to be a repressed version of yourself in order to live it. In particular, where this deals with those who have travel or visa issues. Know that if there is a rejection at this time, there may be workings behind the scenes that you may be unaware of right now, but the rejection can work out to your benefit in the long run. The same will be true of any form of ostracization that takes place at this new moon. But for most and overall, this seems to be more of a determined alignment between the subconscious and the conscious mind, that ideas and belief systems you used to operate within no longer have the power or influence than they previously did, and it's time to make a break for your long term well being. This will be a good thing as it allows you more room to be who you are, even if it's bittersweet at the moment. Now, if you need any help navigating this, definitely book a reading with me over at kmoonastro.com. The link to do that is below this video. Pisces, let's have a look at things unfolding in your love department. This new moon sees the governor of your love sector, Mercury. Let's just point him out right there. Opposite Uranus, king of the unpredictable, trine Mars, all about action and movement, and trine Neptune, all about intuition and imagination, and sextiling Pluto, all about endings and power. This is going to help you think deeply about situations in your love life. This configuration is indicative of a very deep transformation unfolding in your romance sector that is designed to elevate you from within, body, mind, and emotions. If in your love life at this time you feel like you're not yourself or like your love life is changing on the outside and you're struggling to figure out where it's headed, it's because there's been such a fundamental change to who you are. Your love life cannot operate the way it used to based on your old identity. That skin has been shed. This is the moment when your love life catches up to your evolution, Pisces. For those in an established bond, these changes could mean a breakthrough that either takes things to the next level or completely breaks them apart, depending upon whether or not the relationship is fully aligned for you. For those looking for love, this new moon may see you encounter a powerful bond in the world of work that seems to come out of nowhere, have a lot of intensity, and from the get go, prompts deep changes in you that you may not have expected. Hold on to your hat because as we get into the Mercury retrograde, November 25th through December 15th, things get even more interesting for a period. Now, overall, for your love life, between this new moon and the end of the year, expect transformation, both inwardly and outwardly, as life aligns itself to the new you that you've worked on becoming. If you heard something that resonates or illuminates, definitely hit that like, subscribe button or share it with a friend who might need it. It would be an honor to support them as well. Thank you so much for being here throughout this broadcast. I'll be in the comment section below for the next hour if you have questions about anything that you heard. And you're welcome to book a reading with me over at kmoonastro.com. The link to do that is below this video. And I will see you live on Thursday for the Mars retrograde update for all signs, or talk to you personally on Friday this week or next for a reading. Thank you so much for being here. Take great care and bye for now.